The Thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. This past Saturday, a huge day at Gulfstream Park. On the show today, coverage of the Grade 2 Devona Dale and the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth Stakes. Our local race of the week, a big-time allowance race at a flat mile. Todd Pletcher came in with the favorite. See if he could get it done. We'll also have coverage again of the incomparable Winx as she was trying to set a world record. And we'll sit down for a moment and talk with one of the owners of Bourbon War, Pasquale Antonio, if I get his name right. He will be with us here in just a little bit. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones. We're down on the beautiful first floor here at Parks Racing. And my friend Dick Girardi. And Dick, we got a lot to get to this week, but as we start the show, we're going to show you both the Devona Dale and the Fountain of Youth. And we start with the Devona Dale, the 3-year-old fillies at a flat mile here for a purse of $200,000. The seasonal debut for Jaywalk. She breaks from the inside post, goes off at 1-5 for trainer John Service. And Dick, the first time she went a flat mile is when she really came onto the radar screen with that big performance in the Frizette.
Yeah, no question. She has the rail. There's some other speed. Tactics are going to be interesting in here. But, boy, you look at the field and you go, wait a second, this is a 2-year-old filly champ. She's won 3 open stakes. Her competitors have won 0 open stakes combined. She's won 2 Grade 1s, including the Frizette and the Breeders' Cup. She was 1-5 for a reason.
Yeah, you talk about, again, the class difference. Number 6, Bold Script, is the second choice here at 8-1, and it is her first start on real dirt.
Yeah, so you're not quite sure what to make of her. She's got pretty good form up in Canada at Woodbine. She's a Canadian bred, but yeah, you're just kind of guessing how she's going to adapt to the dirt.
Well, Dick, Jaywalk is 1-5, and I think there's a lot of money in the show pool, too.
Indeed.
Let's take a look at the Devona Dale.
And they're off in the Devona Dale. It was a smooth beginning for Jaywalk, who's down toward the inside and challenging for control with Cookie Dough, who's right alongside. These two move ahead of Another Time, who's away racing in third. Jeltrin splits horses, and Champagne Anyone's on the outside. Then back to the team of Bold Script at Another Time, and the trailer is High Regard. Out of the chute and onto the main course, Cookie Dough has the lead, but she also has inside position as Joel Rosario angles Breeders' Cup winner Jaywalk to the 2-path. She'll flank the leaders second behind a 24-1. Very reasonable opening quarter. Jeltrin is third. They've gone 3 ahead of Champagne Anyone fourth. Outside fifth in High Regard, then Another Time, and the trailer is Bold Script. They make their way to the half-mile point, and it's the Sire Stakes champion Cookie Dough in front of the Breeders' Cup champion Jaywalk, who races from second. Jeltrin a 3-wide third behind a 47-2 half-mile. Still 3 or 4 lengths back to Another Time, who improves inside of Champagne Anyone. High Regard has been wide every step of the journey, and Bold Script is last as they round the far turn. Cookie Dough comes under pressure to hold control. Jaywalk in between horses is now only a neck off the lead second. Jeltrin 3-wide third. Champagne Anyone will have to go 4-wide fourth at the rail, and Another Time from fifth. After 3 quarters and 112 flat, Jaywalk just lost ground to Cookie Dough. Cookie Dough still finding up front. She's 13-1, and Jaywalk is not finding. Jaywalk fails to fire here as Jeltrin now offers the challenge to Cookie Dough. Cookie Dough digging. Jeltrin surging. Jeltrin's 50-1. Cookie Dough tries to hold her off. These two photo finish.
Well, Dick, I'm watching the race unfold, and you know, we've seen Jaywalk get to the lead as she did in both the Frizette and in the Breeders' Cup. Well, she doesn't get to the lead here, but she's got that perfect stalking trip. And when it was time to go, she didn't go. And here comes this 50-1 shot. Jeltrin at 51-1 comes on to win it by a head and pays $105 to win. And Jaywalk finishes off the board, so we got some big show prices. I think this was a real head scratcher for a really good horse.
Yeah, I didn't see this coming, and I talked to John Service the next day and wrote about it for Let'sGoRacingParks.com. He didn't see it coming. He didn't think she was 100%.
Right.
Said maybe she'd be a little short, but not like that. He was really surprised, and he said, well, the only thing I can think of is that maybe she's at her best when she's loose on the lead, as she was in the Frizette and in the Breeders' Cup. And he basically told Joel, look, if somebody else makes the lead, fine, because at some point you're going to need to try that strategy anyway. He also told her, look, if there's a problem, she's not really feeling that great, you don't have to do anything. Ease up on her a little bit. But yeah, it was a bit of a mystery, and John did say, look, the next time she runs, and these fractions weren't very fast.
No.
Obviously, she could have been in front. Had they chosen to put her there, she'll be in front the next time. Probably the Ashland, maybe the Gulfstream Park Oaks, not for sure yet. Was he happy about it, John? No. Was he totally discouraged? No. And I will give you a horse we're about to see in a few minutes in the Fountain of Youth. Sometimes horses don't run their best first time off a 4-month layoff. So we'll give her another chance. But was it anything but disappointing? No, it was absolutely disappointing. There's no question.
Dick, with all the talent in the world, you wish they're more than one-dimensional. So hopefully,
that
that's
could
another,
be a concern. And it's interesting. The only race she won from off the pace, and John talked about this, was a stake at Delaware where Josh Navarro rode her. It was a 5.5, and Josh said, look, she wasn't going anywhere early in the race, and then he just took her out in the middle of the track at a stretch when all she could see was sky, and she exploded.
Yeah.
So maybe she just needs to be in front and clear, because obviously those two races, they were not mirages, the Forsett and the Breeders' Cup. They were pretty awesome, so we'll see what happens next.
Well, Dick, let's get to the Fountain of Youth, the big race for the 3-year-old males. $400,000 purse, the very important 50 points in the to get to the Kentucky Derby, 1 mile and 1/16 the distance here. And the favorite we've been waiting to see here, number 7, Hidden Scroll, who goes off at 6-5 for Trader Bill Mott. Really the hot horse. There's another Hofberg, if you remember Hofberg from last year. One start under his belt. In the slop, ran a huge number, but that was maidens, that was the slop, and now we jump to the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, won by so much, ran so fast, 104 buyer, naturally going to be favored, but there's other speed in the race. There were people lined up to bet against this horse. Could he do it again? Son of the really good PA-bred Hard Spun, who ran so well in the Triple Crown races a couple of years ago. But yeah, 6-5. I don't know that I wanted to take 6-5. I wasn't necessarily sure who was going to beat him, but I wasn't sure I wanted to take 6-5.
Number 5, Bacoba, is the second choice here at 3-1 for trainer George Weaver. He is the son of Candy Ride. 2 starts under his belt, and there's nothing to fall with what he's done so far.
Yeah, I thought his Nashua was terrific when he beat Network Effect, who was the horse who ran right behind Maximus Mischief in the Remsen next out. So yeah, I've always been a big fan of this horse, and George Weaver's a really good trainer.
And Dick Bourbon War is 4-1, and Code of Honor breaks from the inside at 9-1. He was 4-5 in the Mucho Manche, get 9-1 today. Let's take a look at the call of the Fountain of Youth Stakes.
Hidden Scroll and Joel Rosario aggressive in the early stages. They lead the race by a half a length. Big long shot Gladiator King is there second, 2.5 clear of Global Campaign third. And the opening quarter was Racehorse Time, 22-4. These top 3 have a 4-length break on Vicoma, who's racing from 4th. Then Code of Honor and Epic Dreamer. At the inside in Bourbon War, a length better than Signal Man. Everfast is on his outside, and outside of them is Union's Destiny. The trailer remains Frosted Grace, and the leader remains Hidden Scroll. 45-3 for the opening half mile, and Hidden Scroll, like his debut, is paving a quick path, and he leads the way by a length. Global Campaign is now the nearest pursuer second. Vicoma is now third. Code of Honor is fourth. They've both had pace to chase. From 5th and Epic Dreamer. Then Signal Man. He's underway with traffic to make up as they run to the top of the stretch. Hidden Scroll puts away Global Campaign. Now he has to deal with Vicoma, and on the inside, Code of Honor. And Code of Honor means business. He's into the clear, and challenging the favorite as they turn for home. Less than a quarter of a mile to go in the Fountain of Youth. Hidden Scroll digs deep, but Code of Honor blows past, and Code of Honor is on to the front. Hidden Scroll trying to hold on to second. Here's Bourbon War unleashing a big run down the center, but Code of Honor is going to hang on.
Dick, I thought this was a terrific ride by Johnny Velasquez from that inside post. Gets Code of Honor up into the air, good position into the air, into the first turn. Maintains his spot down the back stretch, squeezes through on the inside to approaching the top of the stretch, swings out, runs him down, wins 3/4 of length, $21 to win. Bourbon War closes well for second, and Dick, Code of Honor, who did not run well in the Mucho Macho Man, they jumped off the bandwagon, get 9-1. This was a nice performance.
Yeah, Shug trained him hard. I watched the workouts. You could tell he was going to run better. I loved him as a 2-year-old. I thought Bourbon War ran terrific. We're going to meet his owner in a couple of minutes. And I did not think Hidden Scroll ran poorly at all. The fractions were really fast. He hung in for a long way. They'll all be back in the Florida Derby probably, and we'll get to see more. But I think this is a bit of a pace meltdown.
Right. You get the owner of a Hidden Scroll. You got a 99-1 shot pressing you along. It's just can't be.
Gladiator King. Get him out of here. I've seen enough of Gladiator King. He's been beaten 104 lengths in all his stakes races. Enough. Get him out.
We'll take time to get to our first break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. You mentioned Bourbon War. I'm going to call him Pasquale D. How about that? He's going to join us when we come back after this.
Here's Bourbon War unleashing a big run down the center.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner low mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
He's a winner. He's a champion. He's an icon. He's a legend. And now he's back in Pennsylvania. Smarty Jones, Kentucky Derby winner, Preakness Stakes winner, standing at Equistar in Annville, Pennsylvania. The quintessential Pennsylvania bred has returned. Smarty Jones is back home. Please call Rodney Eckenrode or visit EquistarTrainingAndBreeding.com.
Want to get out of the cold this winter? Well, Parks Racing is just the place to keep you warm and toasty. Parks Racing gives you plenty of horse racing action all winter long. Live racing 3 days a week, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yes, Sunday is a day of rest from the live action.
Catherine Sophia, very impressive.
We have simulcast racing every day from tracks all around the country. So put on your snow boots, grab your coat, and head on over to Parks Racing. It's warm and toasty.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time for this week's special feature segment, and it is a pleasure to spend a couple of minutes with Pasquale D'Angelantonio. Hope I said that right, Pasquale. Pasquale, you're involved with Bourbon War. We'll get to that in just a moment, but tell us about, or tell the folks about what your place is in the business of horse racing.
Yeah, I'm just a huge fan, first of all, and I got lucky enough to get involved with a horse with a bunch of great guys. And I'm just a #1 fan, taking a ride just like everyone else.
You first got into it back in 2004, I believe, when a certain horse named Smarty Jones piqued your interest.
Smarty Jones is the best for me, and people always ask, how did I grow up in the business? How did I get in? And right away, I dropped Smarty Jones, and that was a thrill of a lifetime watching that. And I've met all of his connections since then, even Dr. Patty Hogan, and thrill of a lifetime.
You grew up in Derby, you live in Sewell, New Jersey. Now, what do you do, Pasquale?
I'm a union construction worker with Local 14 Philadelphia, and I'm just a neighborhood guy that's having to be in a hot seat right now, and I love it.
And when you were there at the Fountain of Youth, what was that like when you saw your horse rolling through the stretch?
I'll be honest, we didn't know what happened at the wire. Like everyone was screaming. We were so confused. We were like, wait, did we win? Did we not win? I was like, I know we didn't win. Why are we yelling? But we were so excited that that happened, and it happened and played out the way it did. That, I mean, wow. I'm still on a high from that.
Now, you got a horse on the Derby Trail. Next is the Florida Derby, but we understand you're going to be somewhere else that day. Tell us.
Yeah, we already had Dubai World Cup planned, and actually another one of our partners actually has a horse running into Dubai. Well, not in the Dubai World Cup, Super Saturday, and he probably will make it to Dubai World Cup. But it was planned ahead of time. It's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning there, but hopefully Sheik Mo don't get too mad and hear us screaming, or hopefully he's sitting next to us, screaming along. So,
Pasquale, we talked about 2004 and you and Smarty Jones, but Atlantic City has a special place in your heart too, and that was such a great mecca of racing back in the day.
But that Atlantic City boutique meet was special for us because we had just moved to Jersey, but I mean it was getting so popular and it was so accessible for everyone, and I wish it would come back, and especially with all the new money coming in New Jersey. I don't know, let's do it. You know what I mean?
You have this great enthusiasm for the game. What is it about the game you like so much?
It's so much fun and exciting, and someone had always told me there's nothing like your first win. My first win just happened to be at Saratoga, and you're going to ask me if we win the Derby, what was my favorite thing in horse racing? It's always going to be that first win at Saratoga, and the people and the backstories.
We'll talk about that after you win the Derby. Pasquale, we talk all the time about getting people involved as an owner. You want to have some fun and see what it's like. Look at this guy right here, Pasquale. He's having the time of his life with a horse that is on the Derby Trail, and you just never know. That's why they run the races in Pasquale. A success from this past weekend, a second at a Grade 2 race is a tremendous accomplishment, and best of luck going forward.
And I thank both of you guys for having me on, Dick and Keith. Big fans. I love you guys, and I wish you the best of luck going forward, too.
Well, thank you very much. It's our pleasure. Well, let's get to more racing coverage. And, of course, it's brought to you by Chapman Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably pay too much. And it's time for our local race of the week, Dick. And we had a big-time allowance race here on Saturday, a flat mile. How about a $50,000 purse?
I think you can make a pretty strong case. This was the race of the year so far here at Parks. I mean, all the talent in this race. And we lost Grasshopper, who got scratched. I mean, but boy, what a strong 7-horse field this is.
We're going to start with some guy named Pletcher.
Yeah.
Todd Pletcher comes in with a favorite number 2, the Big Fundamental, who gets bet down to 8-5. Now, Dick, he has 2 big allowance wins up in New York, one of those at Saratoga.
Yep.
His most recent effort was a 3rd in the Jazzle Stakes, where he was just behind the tough Sunny Ridge.
Yeah, and he's owned by Jake Pletcher, who's Todd's dad, and Todd himself, and I suspect he's named after the great Tim Duncan, the San Antonio Spurs Hall of Famer, who was nicknamed the Big Fundamental.
Second choice, number 3, Wait For It, who's 2-1. Michael Sanchez on board for trader Ed Coletti. And Dick, here is another one of those really successful Uptown Charlie Brown horses.
Yeah, look, he's really one of the great sires here in the Commonwealth, and Eddie trains most of them, and they have had tremendous success, especially here in the last year.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about some guy named John Service, who saddles number 6, Someday Jones, who's 7-2 with Frankie Pennington on board. Back through his PPs, he's been in stake race after stake race, and he's run some big ones.
He has run some big ones. Smarty Jones out of Last Toots, who was a Pat Chapman, Roy Chapman mare that was a real good runner around here back in the day, and Mainline and Alexandra owned. But boy, this is a really good horse, trained by the best around here.
A mile for $50,000. Can you say photo finish?
I can.
Here's the call. The time for the first quarter was 24 seconds flat. They ran the half in 49 seconds flat. And they're well bunched with 3.5 furlongs to go. Wait For It has come through on the inside, leads it now by a neck. Someday Jones on the outside is second. The Big Fundamental looms a factor in behind those two. Red Rasso now coming under a ride and dropping back on the outside. Saratoga Jack is also backpedaling. Nothing yet from either Harpoon or DeGrom. They move for the top of the stretch. Wait For It. Someday Jones, they're headed for the lead. They're joined now by a hard charging, the Big Fundamental. A 3-wide sweep as they come off the turn. Final furlong. Someday Jones game between horses. Wait For It is given way. The Big Fundamental on the outside. The Big Fundamental, Someday Jones, they're headed for the lead with 70 yards to go. Someday Jones the inside, the Big Fundamental on the outside. They're coming down to the line together, a photo finish. Well, Dick, as I'm calling the race, here comes the Big Fundamental with that sweeping move to the outside. He looks like he has the momentum, looks like he's going to go by. Someday Jones says, wait a minute, not so fast. He digs in. Those two battle through the last furlong. The photo goes to Someday Jones at 7-2 and pays $9.40 to win, and he runs another big one.
He does run another big one and closes on $400,000 in career earnings, and this is the value of a PA bred. $50,000 race, bred here in the state. How about $42,000 to the winner? Breeders' bonuses, owner bonuses. It's all happening.
That works
for Someday Jones.
Someday Jones, our local winner this week. Well, Dick, it seemed like only yesterday that we had Winks on the show. She was 2 weeks ago. She won, and now she is back. And this time, Dick, she is trying for a world record 23rd Group 1 wins. That's just hard to imagine.
And 31 in a row. And this is interesting, shall we say. The horse that she keeps beating over and over and over again, they try a little different tactic this time.
Yes, they do. Well, let's go down to down under. Let's go to Australia and see if the amazing Winks can make it 31 in a row and 23 Group 1s. Here's the call.
So Happy Clapper establishing a sizable lead coming down the side of the course. He's been trying to beat the great mare for the last 3 years. He's never led. What will happen from here? Happy Clapper extends 4 lengths in front now of Big Tart. 2 further back to Winks, taking closer order. Unforgotten lost a spot as Happy Clapper goes further in front. Good gap back to Patrick, Aaron Liberator, and Brigham Rocks. This has got the crowd on the edge of their seats. Happy Clapper's 5 in front to Egg Tart. Now Bowman just starting to feel for Winks coming around the turn. He doesn't want to get too far away. Happy Clapper comes up the rise, 4 lengths clear. But Winks, she's really starting to hit top gear now. 2 lengths away. Happy Clapper under the whip. 2 in front. front. Bowman says, come on, girl. Winks moves up on the outside of Happy Clapper. It's a race today, but no longer. She starts to draw clear for a world record of 23 Group 1s. Winks by 2 lengths to Happy Clapper.
Dick, as I watched the race unfold and the leader jumped out to a fairly sizable lead, I got the idea that the jockey aboard Winks this time was maybe at least a little bit, he knew it. He got into her a little bit early, but Dick, you know what? It didn't matter. When they came to the finish, she was eased up at the end.
It never does.
Amazing performance.
No, I mean, it's just like you wind it up. It's the same race, and here she comes, and it doesn't matter who's in front or how far they are. She just runs them down every time.
Now, Dick, I mean, the world would love to see her come to the Breeders' Cup, but
or Royal Ascot.
Yeah,
but apparently only a couple more times, and she's out. But you know what? She owes no one anything. 31 in a row? I mean, really? In horse racing?
23 Group 1s. That's the best you get.
That's crazy.
The Amazing Winks does it again. Let's get to our next break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. It is our Horse of the Week from our friends at Turning for Home, the Jockey and Trainer of the Week, and some other great action from Gulfstream. Stay with us. Be back after this.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
The hard-working folks
who proudly earn our living
in Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs, and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Want to get out of the cold this winter? Well, Parks Racing is just the place to keep you warm and toasty. Parks Racing gives you plenty of horse racing action all winter long. Live racing 3 days a week, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yes, Sunday is a day of rest from the live action.
Catherine Sophia, very impressive.
We have simulcast racing every day from tracks all around the country. So put on your snow boots, grab your coat, and head on over to Parks Racing. It's warm and toasty.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. It's time for our Turning for Home Horse of the Week. Of course, it's brought to you by the good folks at Turning for Home. Log on to their website at turningforhome.org. And here, of course, is more from our friend Danielle Montgomery.
Our Turning for Home Horse of the Week is Currency Wave. He is a 4-year-old 16-hand bay gelding by Currency Swap. He ran 8 times here at Parks Racing before being retired to our program, and CW is the kind of horse that no matter where he goes, he's the first to greet you at the gate. He's currently in training as an all-round show horse and is excelling at ranch pleasure, ranch riding, trail, English, reining, and hopefully cattle boxing soon. He's gotten very relaxed in a lower headset, and with the time and patience of Tom Fowle at Canyon Equine, he could be any kind of horse for the right person. Thank you. This is Danielle Montgomery with the PTHA's Turning for Home.
And of course, as always, our thanks to Danielle, and they also sponsor our Jockey and Trainer of the Week. And our Jockey of the Week is Luis Castro, currently sitting 4th in the standings here as we get to the early part of March. And Dick, our Trainer of the Week is Chris Landacini. Now, Chris had a tough season last year. Wins were few and far between. He's off the schneid here for 2019. He got a winner last week, so we're going to tip our caps to a guy that's always trying, Chris Landacini.
Former jockey and been a trainer for quite a long time now.
Let's get to race recap. Back to Gulfstream Park. The big turf race on the program was the McDermott, a Grade 2 race at 1 3/8 miles. Dick, number 6, Zulu Alpha, the even money favorite for trainer Mike Maker. He has been really good of late. Did not get a good trip and yet still gets it done.
Did not get a good trip with the smoking hot Irad Ortiz. He's already over 100 winners this year. I mean, it's crazy. And he's going to roll by and win by about 3/4.
And pay $4.20 to win it. Some folks were happy that Melmich got up there for second at 13-1. Gulfstream Park Sprint, Grade 3 race, 6 furlongs, $100,000. Number 1, Recruiting Ready, the big favorite here at 1-2. And he's going to run like he's the big favorite.
Yeah, this was really never in doubt. Was 3rd early and then just blew by everybody and wins pretty convincingly. 105 buyer for Recruiting Ready.
Big number for your $2 wager. You get $3 back. You love that. But Dick, let's get to our final break news and notes. We'll be wrapping it up after this. And Dick, you have a little Hall of Fame action.
I do. This is my ballot that I just filled out within the last few days.
Yes, we'll talk about that. We come back after this.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
And they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
Who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing,
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
but it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs,
Jobs and billions in economic impact each year.
all across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Want to get out of the cold this winter? Well, Parks Racing is just the place to keep you warm and toasty. Parks Racing gives you plenty of horse racing action all winter long. Live racing 3 days a week, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yes, Sunday is a day of rest from the live action.
Catherine Sophia, very impressive.
We have simulcast racing every day from tracks all around the country. So put on your snow boots, grab your coat, and head on over to Parks Racing. It's warm and toasty.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner, low-mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parks Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parks is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. The final segment, of course, news and notes brought to you by Pewter Stable. Log on to their website at pewterstable.com. We had Pasquale on with us.
Yes,
if you
sir.
want to be an owner,
Yep.
you can do it there at pewterstable.com. He's Dick Girardi, or he's Bruce Caselli. You're Dick Girardi. I'm Keith Jones. And Nick, Hall of Fame action. How does that, this is the National Hall of Fame.
Right, this is the Hall of Fame up in Saratoga, and I am one of the voters. There's a nominating committee that winnows down the horses, and then
Right.
there's the final group. And this year there's 9 people, horses, and you vote for any that you want.
Right.
And I mean, I voted for Blind Luck and Haverty Grace, both who ran that great cotillion
Right.
several years ago. Haverty Grace was the horse of the year. I voted for Mark Cassie and Christophe Clement, 2 great trainers. Also voted for Gio Ponte, who was a phenomenal horse for Christophe. And I vote every year for Craig Perret, and for the life of me, I cannot figure out why he wasn't in the Hall of Fame 20 years ago. But one of my all-time favorite jockeys. And there's 3 other horses and people on the list. Rags to Riches, I did not vote for. I do not think deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't even know why she got nominated.
Right.
Royal Delta, I felt bad because she's a 2-time Del Cap winner. And David Whiteley, the trainer, good career. I didn't think Hall of Fame worthy, but if you get more than 50% of the vote, there could be 5 in the Hall of Fame. There could be 1. There could be none. It depends on what horses or people get more than 50% of the vote.
You got to get more than 50%.
Yep.
Well,
That's the deal.
You got it.
We'll find out in April who got it.
Absolutely. Well, Dick, that's going to wrap up this week's edition of Let's Go Racing. As mentioned just a short time ago, this is a great day to come out and enjoy the races from not only here live, but of course the great simulcasting from around the country. Join us next week right here on Let's Go Racing.